Okay, we're on. Wine's already poured. Just couldn't help myself. Just couldn't do the whole. Nah, I know. Did I really pour this wine? Yes, I really poured this wine. See how it's kind of empty. And this is really the beautiful Casanuova Nittardi Chianti Classico Vigna Doghessa in my glass. And that's always a good sign when the fruit flies are swarming. We have very discerning fruit flies here. So when you open something and it's hot, they pounce. Just like we pounced on this wine. You remember, it was about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, we featured up the Arastra from Nittardi, which is their Maremma blend from southern Tuscany. They own property in Chianti Classico and in the Maremma. And that wine kicked complete ass. Thanks, you guys. We sold a bunch. It's ass-kicking wine, and we're happy that you bought it. But today, we're going another step forward. We're going to the original Nittardi property, the Casanuova di Nittardi, in Castellina, in Chianti Classico, the home base, the home team for their absolutely brilliant 2021 Chianti Classico single vineyard Vigna Doghessa. Cool label, huh? Art labels each year, 41 years they've been doing this. And this year it was Academy Award winning director, writer James Ivory, actually. Remains of the Day, for you cinema nerds, that created the label this year, that painted the label. It's a good one. It's absolutely beautiful. Beyond that, the wine is amazing. So this is from the property's old vines, all single vineyard, 100% Sangiovese. All right, so these guys don't screw around. This could probably almost technically be like a Grand Selezione type wine if they chose to age it an extra year. But this is just their straight Chianti Classico. And let me tell you, folks, we've harped on it before. The 2021 vintage is all that and a bag of chips. I mean, you know, Gloney went out there and said, hey, you know, it's the greatest finish for Chianti Classico I've ever tasted. And you know what, dude's tasted Chianti Classico a long time. And you know what, he's kind of right. 2021 is just superb. The haunting balance, the ethereal nature of these wines. The true essence of Sangiovese. I don't think a vintage has ever produced a more finer, pure, more true style of Sangiovese than 2021. If you want to know what great Sangiovese tastes like, this is the vintage to do it. It wasn't too hot, it wasn't too cold, the wines aren't too tannic, they're not too lean, they're not too skeletal, they are just right. These are wow. So 21. Vibrant, humming, with a deep core of red fruit in the mid palate. These are not blockbuster wines. These are not black fruited wines. These are gorgeous red fruited Sangiovese wines with pinpoint impeccable balance. They're so true. They're so on point. And they can be made a bunch of different ways, actually. The point is the vintage almost supersedes the vinification. In this case, we have used barrels, 500 and 600 liter barrels, French, and you know the fancy, the Tony Stockinger barrels, they use those, but no new oak, or maybe a smidgen. They might buy one or two new ones every year, right? It gets aged in those barrels. Then, what a lot of people do now, which is really smart, this wine gets harmonized. It gets all put together into concrete, and it rests in concrete for 4 to 6 months. So the wine can kind of, just kind of relax and tranquilo. And then, after that, it goes in the bottle. They hold it for a little bit in the bottle before they release it. And that is it. This is beautiful Castellina Sangiovese. And the Sangiovese from this area isn't as, again, big as the Casanuova Berardengo wines to the south, and maybe not as severe as some of the Greve wines. This has a real just right, a very regal tone to the Sangiovese here. This tastes like the Sangiovese of Michelangelo, who owned this property in the 1600s. You know, the Sangiovese of popes and kings, and the Castellino wines, the best ones always have that vibe. And this one absolutely has it. Again, we really like the work this producer's doing. They're with a great importing source right now. Works really reasonably. So this wine's hitting you 25 bucks. Legit 93 pointer, big time wine, gorgeous Chianti Classico. You need to buy these 2021s before they go away. And they are going away. The 22 Classico, what they call Normale wines, are already hitting our shores. 22's excellent, maybe 15-ish, but it ain't 21. So we're gonna be in great Chianti for the next year or two, but if you want the really great stuff, you want the heroic stuff, you want the legendary stuff, now is the time. 25 bucks, one of the greatest deals on Chianti Classico we got in the store. Brilliant! Get some.